Hey guys, as promised, season 3 analysis of Merlin BBC. Now, the context before we start, this is a year after season 2. So far, this is my favorite season because I'm not done watching season 5 just yet. I'm only on episode 7. But either way, I love this episode, this season. I love fun characters to introduce, and we see more Merlin arcs to progress further, which I really like. Um, Either way, let's into the first episode. This is a two-parter, so it's an opening, so one of our first two-parters of the season. Okay, episode 1, season 3, The Tears of Uther Pendragon. As I said, a year has passed, and they're still looking for Morgana, who Merlin had poisoned in the last episode that we saw her in. At this point, Merlin and Arthur banter in public. The knights know this. The knights are very used to this, and they know that if Arthur goes anywhere, Merlin will follow regardless at this point. Um, while on this hunt that they're on, they find Morgana in her undergarments and bruised and bloodied, obviously. Uther is delighted that his ward is back, but at the moment, Morgause and Morgana are planning to make Uther go a little bit insane by making him face the people he killed, including his wife. Morgana goes out to meet Morgause for this, and Merlin follows her one day, and then gets poisoned by Morgause, so he doesn't get to reveal the plan to Arthur and the king and the entire court. So he's forced to call Kilgar to save him. That's where the first episode ends, and Arthur said Merlin's name 3 times. The Tears of the Pendragon Part 2, Episode 2. Merlin is still very ill from the poison, and Morgana and Margot still continue to beat Luthen submissive by his fears of facing the people he killed that he thought was for the better. They are now allied with Senred, who is the rival kingdom of Camelot. He rules the rival kingdom. Um, During the fight of Senred's army invading Camelot, Morgana gets this scepter thing that's like a tree, and she plants it under the tomb under the castle and brings this army of the undead to attack Camelot. Um, Merlin tries to go destroy it, but at that point, Morgana confronts him and said that he could never understand how it feels to have magic in the kingdom where it's outlawed. Still, Merlin has magic himself. So after knocking Morgana out, Merlin destroys the scepter tree thing and saves the kingdom, but Morgana takes credit for that afterwards. And Arthur says Merlin's name 5 times. Episode 3, Goblin's Gold. In this episode, Merlin goes to look for more books about his magic in the library and finds a secret compartment. In that little room, there is a chest holding a goblin. Merlin releases the goblin, and in folklore, and in this episode, goblins love gold, considering the name of the episode, and they trap the goblin. Gaius and Merlin do, but the goblin possesses Gaius and starts making mischief around the castle. Luther goes bald. Morgana and the entire court start partying in front of the people, and Arthur gets donkey ears and starts braying. Merlin is accused and charged of all these things going on. But then they find out that Gaius is possessed because he's proud of Merlin being like hanged, I guess you could say. And that is not Gaius at all. He actually cares for Merlin. So they find an antidote and they administer it to Gaius by poisoning him. And they capture the goblin. I've said Merlin's name 4 times in this episode. Episode 4, Gwaine. Now, I love this episode because it's Gwaine. Come on. We all love Gwaine somewhere or another. So, after coming home from a hunt, Arthur and Merlin find themselves in a bar fight, and this they meet a young man named Gawain. He passes out while saving Arthur, and they take him back to Camelot, so it's a recovery. Um, Basically, there is another tournament. So many tournaments in this series, I swear to God. Two knights have been replaced by two sorcerers trying to kill Arthur, and a good thing is to remember that Gawain is a noble. He is actually a son of a knight, but he doesn't want anyone to know because he doesn't want to do his father's footsteps. Because a noble killed his father, like with William in season 1, it's the same thing here. But despite Uther banning Gawain from the castle, he still comes back to save Arthur in time for the two knights to be replaced. Gawain is shown as a very Gawain is seen as a very true friend to Arthur and Merlin this time. Like he's like Lancelot, but like less in love with Guinevere at this point. It's all I can say about this episode. Um, Arthur says Merlin's name 6 times. The Crystal Cave. In this one, Merlin and Arthur are out in the forest during a hunt where they get cornered by bandits and they take refuge in a Valley of Fallen Kings thing. And there's a cave nearby where a older sorcerer tells Merlin the future about how Morgana is going to kill Uther in his sleep. Um, and once they get back to Camelot, Morgana does go outside in that same cloak, but he misunderstands the murderous aspect of her. Um, and he accidentally fractures her skull by making her drop down the stairs. So now she's literally in a near death situation, and Uther, not only that he is awake, confesses that Morgana is his daughter by blood, that he bedded her mother while her father was away at war. So Merlin asks Elgar how to save her, but the dragon says that it's her fate to die, and it would be better for everyone. But Merlin is still a good person at this point and finds a spell to save her, but unexpectedly starts the impending doom of Morgana's relationship with Uther and everything else that happens. Because Morgana at this point just wanted to make Uther pay for what he did to her people, but now when he sees his her daughter, that's her dad. She wants full control over Camelot. She wants to be queen, and that means Arthur said Merlin's name 7 times. The Changeling. So this is another episode where Arthur is not from the love spell, is like forced to marry someone he doesn't want to. Elena is from a um, different kingdom. Um, and Uther makes them betrothed and get married in a week. But Elena has a um, those little fairy things from Sophia's episode in her. At the end of the episode, basically Merlin gets the thing out of her. Like he destroys the fairy thing inside of Elena. But either at the end, Arthur refuses the marriage because he was married for love, not because it would be a good thing for the kingdom. He doesn't want to marry for he was married for love. Um, Arthur's Merlin's name 6 times. The Castle of Freyan. Let's meet Eliane, Egwene, Eliane, Gwen's brother. He gets kidnapped, and Eliane is forced to lie to her so they can get closer to Arthur and killing him. Um, Merlin is in this episode also very caring of Gwen as a brother that was not there for her. He replaces Elliot's place as a brother that Gwen always needed but was never there. But they get there, and of course they're captured and stuff, but they do get out and they take Elliot with them, and he becomes a knight of Camelot later on in the series. Arthur said Merlin's name 6 times. The Eye of the Phoenix. So each prince or king of Camelot has to go through a trial that they get from this thing, and Arthur's is getting a golden trident from the Fister King. The king is known to be the oldest immortal um, person, but Morgana gives him the Eye of the Phoenix, which is something that will steal your energy the more you use it in this journey, which Arthur does start to pass out, fainting spells, all that type of stuff. Gwen starts to grow. Suggests Morgana, like, she's not the Morgana that Gwen knew and used to love. Merlin follows Arthur and finds out that the Fist King was his quest, not Arthur's, because Merlin and Arthur are bound. Remember that. And it's revealed that Arthur, Merlin, and Gwen are always going to be bound no matter what, because it's strength, courage, and magic. Strength being Gwen, courage being Arthur, and magic being Merlin, obviously. The king gives him water for the Avalon in exchange for the Eye of the Phoenix, so the Fist King can finally die in peace. And instead of doing so, Arthur finds Trident and they head back. And Gwen says since he's still banned from Camelot, he cannot ride with them. And Arthur says Merlin's name 8 times. It's a long episode, I'm so sorry. Love in the Time of Dragons. Alice is an old friend of Gaius, and they used to be an old love. And once he comes back, it's someone that he's trying to kill Uther, but she is condemned. But she is condemned to death by Uther for using magic. But in the end, she escapes. But it's implied that Gaius helped her escape because he's still in love with her. And this is Alexis Miller's name only 2 times throughout the entire episode, which is an all-time low at this time. Queen of Hearts. In this episode, Morgana has visited Gwen being crowned Queen of Camelot, and she hates that. Like, Morgana is very against it. And Arthur and Gwen on their first date in this episode, but they are seen by Morgana and Uther, and Gwen is accused of putting a love spell on Arthur. To save Gwen, Merlin decided an 80-year-old called Dragoon and puts a harmful like magic bag under Arthur's pillow and is seen by Arthur, and he is condemned to death, but he cannot undo the spell before it is too late. At the very last moment, before he can put on the pry, this old Merlin like bumps into Gaius in his castle where he takes the potion and makes him young again. And yeah, so that saves Merlin. And Arthur Merlin's name is only 3 times throughout the entire episode. Episode 11, The Sorcerer's Shadow. In this episode, another tournament. So many tournaments, I swear to God. Another tournament happens, and this young man known as Gil tries to find the tournament. He's very scrawny like Merlin. He's like very thin, very frail, and uses magic to win. But by accident, he almost kills a man, and he's realizing he has to win. And throughout the thing, Morgana manipulates Uther into Arthur and to fight Arthur, and they both yield because they're father and son, to be honest. Arthur's Merlin's name 7 times in this episode. And then two-parter, The Coming of Arthur Part 1. In this episode, The knights with including Sir Leon are fighting in the forest, and the Sir Leon almost dies, and the druids give him water from a cup of life to save his life. Uther orders to retrieve it before it falls in the wrong hands, aka Morgana Morgause. But on the way to the kingdom, they are captured by Geralt, a slave trainer. But thankfully, Gawain is also there, and they make up a play fight to get out of the thing, which of course Merlin helps them in. They get the cup of life before Morgana, but they quickly lose it again. And Arthur saw the poison arrow, making him very drowsy and sleepy, and can pass out at any moment. Meanwhile, but then of course Merlin saves his life. Morgause uses the cup of life makes Sendra's army immortal, like saying with their blood, and Morgause takes over Camelot. In the Citadel, which is the part under the castle, the group finds that Aline and Guy is still alive and well, but um, they watch from the top of the throne that where Morgana releases he is Uther's daughter and takes over Camelot. The Coming of Arthur Part 2. Uther is in the dungeons, heartbroken that his daughter did this. But before I do that, episode 12, I said Merlin's name 10 times. Anyway, Gwen and Sir Leon escaped the castle by dressing Leon up as a woman. That is just so common now. Anyway, while Arthur and everyone is in exile, Freya talks Merlin through some water in the lake and tells him to get Excalibur since there's something fight to save him. After finding Round Table Castle, the knights they run into Lancelot, Gawain, Aline, and Percival. And Arthur knights them, purposely as Leon. No, Leon's already knight, what am I saying? Lancelot, Gawain, and Aline, and Percival named knights came out officially by Arthur. And this is what I kind of hated about the later episodes, because the round table was consisted of Arthur, Gawain, Leon, Percival, Lancelot, Aline, Gaius, Gwen, and Merlin. But then in the later episodes, it's everyone in Camelot. It's like, that's not good. Like, you had one set, use that set, but no. But they do get back to Camelot, free the other knights, the king, and Merlin, and Lancelot fight the way to go of life. And they empty the cup, causing Morgause to die and Morgana to like actually scream like a burst of magic and to destroy all the windows and that in the castle. And she escapes Morgause. And the episode ends with Merlin putting the sword in the stone, which is where the legend comes from. And it ends with Arthur saying Merlin's name 8 times. So in this season, we see a lot of new characters, a lot of old characters, and a lot of character development. Starting with Merlin, he's more okay with using magic in the open, but still hiding it though, obviously. We have Wayne in here, which I love, but staying on Merlin's topic, he's not yet okay with killing anyone because he's still a good percent heart, but this will be changed in season 5. Arthur now has taken the mantle of king almost, even though he's still a prince. He banters with people more often, he's more kind and giving chances to other people against his father's wishes. He unites 4 people unwillingly, even though they're not noble blood, even though Gwen technically is. Gwen is known to be extremely loyal to Arthur through everything in this season. No matter what happens, she always goes to Arthur, which shows her love for him. Um, Morgana, now I think that she was poisoned by Merlin, which is like her breaking point. But Morgana, you were being a little bitch. No, sorry, for lack of a better term, you were being a total like he had no choice. And I would say once again, the bracelet was doing this to her, not anything else. If Tina never had the bracelet, this would never would have happened. Just saying. But yeah. Side characters in Gaius, Uther, Gwaine, my favorite, and we get Lancelot back. We have Leon, we have Eliane, we have Percival, and we have obviously everyone else. Um, as I said, the round table grows as the episode goes on, which I kind of don't like. We season 5 the round table is very huge and takes up most of the throne room, but in here it's just like 9 people, which I think is perfect because it's the people that Arthur trusts the most. And in later episodes, like he trusts everyone, which is not plausible. And that's what these seem to almost die multiple times. Regardless of that, I think that the next season is not my most favorite, but I do love season 3. It has its points. It has these things that make it good. I do like season 3, but I think like season 4 and season 5 kind of went downhill after um, Arthur became king because, as I've said before, season 1 to season 4, Gwen and Ron had this amazing brother sister relationship, but then season 5 they just like completely get rid of it because now she's queen and like it's just very. I feel like it's very like forced because Wayne and because then a lot of stuff's gonna happen that I do not like, but I cannot stop that. It is how the show was written. Like I said, I might do a fixed part where I do all the special episodes, the commercials, and deleted scenes where Arthur says Merlin's name for fun, and I break those down as well because they are part of this um canon part of this series. So I will be doing those based on season like commercials, like with the teddy bears or the Children's Aid Society, stuff like that. For the 6th part, and maybe I'll do the audio series on Sunday as 7th part, maybe. That's all for today. That was Merlin season 3 BBC. Come back for part 4. Bye.